I have been dancing for a long time, and throughout the years, dance has become something for me that goes beyond just the movement of the body, and grew into a living practice through which I had the chance to learn more about myself and life than I ever imagined possible. I first started training in jazz and swing dance, mostly because it was really fun, but then later fell in love with street dance. Hip hop, house, animation, afro, I lived and breathed for these styles and the spirit behind them. To go out on the street, get together with others and just dance together, communicating and connecting through movement had more life in it than anything else I found up until that point. Dance was very different from anything else that I did throughout a day. Or maybe I was just doing dance from a different place. But mostly in my life I was focused on getting somewhere. I did this in order to get there. During dance, this attitude became absurd. You don't dance just to end up on a specific spot in a specific pose. Each movement is for itself and is complete by itself. The journey was the point, the joy of each step, without worrying where it would lead because the joy was so strong that the idea of getting somewhere was lost. But the industry is tough and is not built on this mentality, unfortunately. Training all day long while constantly comparing yourself to others is a more precise description of a dancer's life. The very thing that lifts you up, gives you confidence and freedom, is the thing that will break your confidence and take away that freedom if you don't allow change to happen. Allowing change to happen in this situation was terrifying for me. I have dropped out of university just so I can pursue dance and oriented my whole life so it is focused solely on training and dancing. So when I could feel a shift happening within me and saw that the form that gave me so much joy has become bitter and dry, I panicked. I thought I lost my connection with dancing and was very confused. It's weird when you have the same passion but the form in which it manifests changes so much that you get confused and think you've lost it. When actually you haven't lost it, you just identified it with that particular form so much that when the form starts disappearing, you get frightened. You have to allow the form to keep changing in order to stay connected to the passion out of which the forms come, especially when it comes to dance. This is exactly what happened. Street dance is amazing, but in a way you are really focusing on saying something, and I started to become more interested in listening. So I started to find ways to dance out of a place of listening instead of talking, a place of rest instead of a place of doing. One of my favorite things about dance, especially when it comes to freestyle, is that you can only truly experience it through the body. This might sound something quite obvious, but in our everyday life, we are mostly just heads on sticks, and we are not at all aware of our bodies. We experience most events on the level of thought, instead of embodying them. Dance is something everyone can do. It's not about being in control, but it's actually about the exact opposite. Dance is something that happens to you if you let it. And just like in dance, in life as well, when you let go of control and just surrender to a moment, beautiful things that you never thought before can happen. As I quieted down, dance became an exploration of the unknown, a tool to become aware of my habits and patterns that exist within my body, and to learn how to let go of those patterns so something hidden and new can emerge. This applied not only to my movement, but every part of my life. I saw how I spent most of my time in the familiar, and was curious to find ways to allow new things to emerge, to not act and move out of a place of habit, but learn how to rest in the silence, which is the only place out of which the hidden can emerge. As long as I was somebody doing something, I was trapped by my own habits. But the moment I let go of control and comfort, and just open up and listen to what is present, magical possibilities that I could never rationally come up with would arise. There's this quote by John O'Donohue that I would like to share with you regarding this. There is nothing to fear in the act of beginning. More often than not, it knows the journey ahead better than we ever could. Perhaps the art of harvesting the secret riches of our lives is best achieved when we place profound trust in the act of beginning. Risk might be our greatest ally. To live a truly creative life, we always need to cast a critical look at where we presently are, attempting always to discern where we have become stagnant, and where new beginning might be ripening. There can be no growth if we do not remain open and vulnerable to what is new and different. I have never seen anyone take a risk for growth that was not rewarded 1,000 times over. One of my teachers said that at the core of each human being there is a light, and dance is just one of many ways to let that light come out. When you're not focusing on doing it right and you fully let go of control, you're getting out of your own way so that light can come out and shine on those around you. There is nothing more powerful in this world than an action that comes from the heart, and dance is a way to learn how to let the heart speak. In the Sufi tradition, it is written that the movements of the heart are superior to the movements of the limbs. So as a dancer, or as someone who is working on letting the light shine, to put it poetically, you are focusing on cultivating an inner state from which dance and art can arise, rather than only focusing on technique and performing. Don't get me wrong, technique is beautiful, but it is just a toy on the playground, and to confuse dance with performing technique is like confusing playing with the toy. If you have many toys to play with, great. If you only have one toy, wonderful. Play has nothing to do with the toys. One of the most beautiful things about dance is also the scariest part of it, which is that it's brutally honest. You can't hide or lie. You cannot show yourself to be anything else than what you are in this moment. It makes you very vulnerable, especially when you start to dance with someone else. But once you take a chance and embrace the unknown without the safety net of personality, you find that who you truly are is something that is not vulnerable. Something so pure and innocent, and yet untouchable by the winds of change and ideas. By letting go of all the ideas about yourself and the situation, all the oughts and shoulds, you have the chance to experience the ever-free being that you are. But of course, none of these nice words mean anything if you don't actually experience it. So instead of keep talking about it, Let's try it. Take a few minutes, stand up, put on some music that you like, and just meet your body. See where it is right now. Meet it for the first time in this moment. And like, see what's it like to be in it. Where is tension? What it feels like. And allow the body to just naturally do what it wants to do. And maybe that's resting, maybe that's nothing, maybe that's being confused. But whatever arises in the body, emotion, tension, freedom, looseness, just allow it and see it. And just the body will keep unfolding by itself if you just don't stop the process. It can become a daily process, a daily practice for you to give space and time for your body to just do what it wants to do. And maybe if you let the process going without any judgment, without any thinking, without stopping it, be careful because you might end up dancing.